Welcome to another edition of Amplify Your Business. Today, we're going to be talking about the brewery process, but not what you're typically thinking about when you think of breweries. It's actually the byproduct that comes from the brewing process. And what do you do with that? Well, you turn it into biscuits. And so Barb and Heather, the co-founders of Brewed Biscuits, are joining me today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about how Brewed Biscuits came about and what it is that you guys do over there.
Well, we started in 2018, and Barb and I had started a brewery here in the restaurant in 2012, and we had all kinds of spent grains left over. So within the tourist industry, tourism, we always did a lot of things for Norfolk County, and we'd go to Toronto and we'd do just to promote the area. So I started making dog biscuits to take with us to the tourism events, and everybody loved these dog biscuits. And then before I knew it, and I was making them to put out on the bar, and people were gathering bags to take home to their dogs, and one thing just led to another, and then this one here decided it would be a great idea to start a business, because of course we weren't busy enough.
The thing is, we had a lot of fun making them. So every time we had a bad day at work, it was always, okay, when are we making dog biscuits, right?
Yeah.
When are we making dog biscuits? Because it was just a lot of fun to make them and a lot of fun to give them out. So
people are they're awesome when they talk about their dogs. They just become happy. People love to show you pictures. They love to do it because that's their happy place. So these biscuits, the dogs love them. So then they're happy.
Exactly.
Then we're happy.
Exactly.
Because we have happy people.
So that's really fascinating. And now the thing that I really like about what you guys are doing, though, is the fact that you're using a byproduct that typically just gets tossed into the waste, and you're creating some healthy treats then for dogs, right?
That's right. The thing is, it's really a food product. It could be it is a byproduct, but essentially, it's still the oats and barley. They've just been steeped to remove the sugar. So what's left is all the protein and the fiber, amino acids, vitamins. So again, they're 20% protein, 70% fiber. Really good for digestion in animals and people as well. So it makes good poop essentially, because it's just really good.
There's
that was part.
The slogan of the year. We help you make great poop. Yeah,
that's right. But that was part and parcel of it, because we really wanted to do something with the grains, and that's what we were excited about, because we're both naturalists. We love the whole upcycling thing and recycling thing, and always have been into that. Mm-hmm. And as it was, all of the grains were just going into cattle feed. So it was just like, well, and they're great for cows. So like, why can't we do something with this and make something out of that? I mean, it's exciting to be able to take a product and then create something new that's healthy, and we're saving the earth. And like, that's our whole thing. We just want to help do our part in helping to save the earth.
Circular brings everything together, right? So we share, we share with the planet, we share with our pets, we share with our people. So
now I saw on the website that you have a few different flavors. So how do you test this, I guess? Because when you're making food for the dogs, is it just you're using dogs as the tasters, and which ones they're gravitating to, that's what you start to create or adapt in the kitchen, or what happens there?
Both. Yeah, it's kind of both, because everybody liked the peanut butter the best, because people eat them. You can eat them. They taste good. They smell great.
Oh, when we're baking them, they smell so good that people just walk by and they'll pick them off the tray and eat them, right? Because it's like a drier granola, right? Because we don't use any sugar. We just use a little bit of honey. So it's essentially like a drier granola with that nutty kind of flavor. So
so people like the peanut butter, and that's the number one for the dogs. Mm-hmm. And then we wanted something that didn't have, because of allergies,
more and more pets are having allergies as well as people. So we had to be aware of that as well.
That's right. And so the pumpkin sweet potato came into play, because it's really healthy for dogs' digestion also. Mm-hmm. And that actually is pretty close to being equal with the peanut butter now.
Yep.
And then we wanted something else, and we went after the apple because we grow lots of apples here in Norfolk County, because all of the other products are all sourced in Norfolk County also. So we have huge apple growth around here.
Yep.
Pumpkin, we're the largest pumpkin and sweet potato growers in North America also. So that's why we ended up with all of these products too, because we're all friends with the farmers and everything else.
Exactly.
So
And the peanuts are grown here in Norfolk County as well.
Yeah.
So it's pure peanuts that are just ground down into a peanut butter that we use.
Oh, wow. So everything is very much sourced.
everything is growing here. And
Exactly.
and the honey also is sourced here in Norfolk County too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's really exciting. And so, yeah, so tasted and tested by humans and then loved
And
by
then,
dogs.
and loved by dogs.
People
exactly.
tested, pet approved.
Well, I mean, you figure people have been feeding their pets everything that they eat and love all the time as well. So it just, yeah. So if they love it, then they're going to feed it to their dog, and their dog should love it, hopefully.
Yeah. So it's completely plant-based then as well. And so is that unique in the pet food, pet treat market then?
I think so, because I think because now there's the big raw push too, right, for raw and grain free and all that type of stuff. So it's pushing more to the protein, but I think again it's a balanced diet. I think everything needs a balanced diet, not only people but animals as well. So most of the pet treats out there are meat based. They do have like meat product in it of some sort, or fish or whatever. I haven't seen a lot of that are meat alternative actually.
Yeah. And most of the treats too are they're pretty processed. Whereas this is not a processed product. It's an all natural product. So it's a big difference for most of the treats out there. And that's why people are liking them too, right? And their dogs are loving them.
Yeah. And the thing is too, we have a lot of legs. We can move around a store as well, because we're not how do I say, we don't have stuff in it that you can't pronounce. So there's not all different types of meat. So we fit well into bakeries. We fit well into the health food section. We fit well into next to craft beer. We fit well in the produce department or aisle. So we can kind of move around because it's just a really beneficial product actually.
Yeah, very interesting. And so when it comes to the distribution that you have right now, I noticed on your website that a lot of breweries actually are distributing this product for you, which makes a lot of sense. And then you're into some retail stores, some national stores too. I think there was a Sobeys that I saw on the list as well.
A couple Sobeys,
so you're getting a pretty good market adoption, market interest then.
It's been a slow go. Only again, it's the education component. Not everybody understands what the product is. When we first started, we were doing pet shows, and we did a ton of pet shows, and nobody knew what we were. Nobody knows what the product is, and it's hard to get people to say, "Oh, eat this product. It's a waste product," but we upcycle it and make it better. So it's really it's trying to educate that. So that's what we're coming over with the breweries. Anybody who drinks craft beer loves craft beer, and they know everything about the process. So they're very familiar with the spent grain. So there's that instant recognition and connection. So they're more apt to buy it. We do well in bakeries as well.
Bakeries also.
People buy treats for themselves and buy treats for the dog. We sell them in the restaurant here. They do very well because again, people come out for dinner. They buy a treat for their dog. So different butchers, butcher places.
The butcher places, they do very well there.
Exactly, little farm markets. It's we've tried the pet stores. So we're in a couple pet stores, and that's kind of growing. But it's getting the consumer educated about the product and how beneficial it is to not only their dog but themselves as well. So and the planet essentially.
Once they get into places, sometimes it's slow to get going, but then once it does get going, then before you know it, then we're sending cases. So everybody's happy then.
Yeah.
Because it's a new category kind of a product. And so you have to, that education piece is a big one. What are spent grains, right? A lot of people haven't heard that before. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Now in terms of the business and the partnership that you have forged here, it's been 2018, you said, I think, right?
Correct.
So that's when it started. And so you would have had a couple of years under your belt and then the pandemic hit. That probably changed a few things for you as it did everybody else. Can you walk me through some of the challenges that you've had from, inception of the business to where you're at today?
Well, I think the biggest thing was just trying to get it from baking them here at the restaurant, giving them out to people, and then turning around and selling them. And how do you sell them? So our biggest hurdle really was packaging. And our biggest faux pas was packaging also. We actually had labels made eventually, and they went on the bags, and they were beautiful little labels. And people go, well, what is it? Well, it's a dog treat, but it didn't say dog treat or pet treat or
have a dog on it.
So that was one of our biggest faux pas.
We just assumed everybody knew what they were, right?
Yep.
Because we had been living and breathing them for so long. So yeah. So again, both of us have a hospitality background. So moving into retail and even manufacturing is that's a challenge all along, and we're constantly learning. Every day we're still learning. So.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. We came from the hospitality industry.
Mhm.
We didn't come from a retail background, so it's been learning that whole curve on how to retail and how to sell things.
Mhm.
And we may be a little stubborn, and so we like to do it a lot ourselves, but you know what? You need to get professional people to help you. So that's lesson number 2.
Yeah, I think we've come to that conclusion.
You need to make sure you pay for somebody to help you, because you know what? You'll save a lot of time, energy, frustration, heartache, everything else. But like I said, we both had jobs, so we were just kind of doing this on the sidelines. So if we had decided to do it right off the hop, we probably would have done it a little differently.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been a great learning curve, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. So
it's been nice too, because we've been able to grow into it. Like, we're not looking to scale, right? This is essentially was our exit plan. It was something because we were both getting tired of the hospitality industry. It's been tough. I mean, 30 plus years for each of us in the industry. So and it wasn't getting any better, right? So this was our exit plans.
Yeah, it was something fun to do. Right.
Mhm.
We like to work together, and it's just, when you start to get into your 60s, you're going, you know what, it's time to learn something different to keep the old noggin going.
Yeah.
And that's what this has done, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just
learning every day.
We're learning every day, right? So I mean, it's been great, right? Like the whole hum of being in a restaurant for 30 years is like it's over on the sideline now. So it keeps me going. It's been great. It really has been.
Yeah. No, it had.
So we talked about the challenges then a little bit, but let's talk about some of the successes. So some of the things that you got right, or that you feel that you got right, and that, whether that was because you designed it that way, you really strategically thought through it, or it just kind of you fell into the success. So tell me a little bit about that. What were some of the successes, some of the wins that you've had along the way?
I think Amazon was our biggest success. We're in Amazon, and getting the barcodes, big, huge challenge, right?
Oh my God.
Huge
Barcodes,
hurdle.
GS1 is it's extremely complicated, and I found it anyhow. I don't know, maybe other people don't, but it's navigating that whole process and getting them I think as well as our dogs, our marketing, our branding I think we've done right from the beginning. And we had a wonderful, amazing graphic person help us with that, right? Who's here local in town. So I think that's one thing, because that we're going to continue and carry on, because
I'd agree with that. I think too, the other win has been just to see the progression of the packaging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was great. At first we had product coming back that was molded because the packaging wasn't proper. So it was moving through all that different packaging where the wins have come. So every time we do a different package, and we're really excited because we've got a new package, which is totally upcycled, recycle, and you can recycle it afterwards. It's a beautiful looking package. So that's been a big win, actually, just to march through all of that. And just every time we get a new package, it's just like, oh my God, look at our package now. And we got barcodes on them.
Yeah.
So it's gone from this thing that we were throwing biscuits into little brown bags to, having a professional looking package now.
Yeah.
The other big really win for us is all the organizations that we've been lucky enough to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, we first started out with Brantford Resource Center with the Starter Plus company program. So again, once you get that, then you get $5,000 grant so that you can start, right? So that kind of started our pathway. And then we've worked with Rise Ventures program, which is here in Guelph, Ontario. So it was, they help women entrepreneurs. So it was a whole year of learning and educating, and we're still part of Innovation Guelph. So if you can get involved with those innovation centers, I highly recommend it, because they're going to help you a lot. In Norfolk County, we just finished the food venture program. So if you're, that's another thing too, find the one that is closest to what you're doing, because while they're all great, most of them will give, well, not all of them, but they give like generalized information and resources that are going to help everybody in their business. And it's the basics, the stuff that you do need. But once you're like, for in food, we needed a very specific one that's not, that wasn't part of those. So we found the food venture program, which worked out really well, because it helped us talked about taking our product from farm to retail. So all those things that you need to know in between, because there's a lot of information that you need to know, especially when it comes down to packaging. And if it's a food item, we're still kind of in that gray area because we're a pet treat. So there's not a lot of legislation around there. So we kind of fall into the food item because we don't have meat. So we don't fall under the pet food either, because we're not a pet food. So we're kind of in a little gray area, but
yeah, so that would be lesson number 3, actually. Just make sure that you suss out all of these different terrific government programs that are out there.
Yeah.
Thing is that if you don't look for them, you don't know they're there, and nobody tells you because they're not looking for them. So do your homework on looking for the proper programs. Like I said, there's all kinds of grant money out there, and a lot of them are 50-50. It totally depends, but there's wealth there of knowledge, right? Because they integrate all these people that have been in the industry before, and they're willing to work for you, but you have to find them and you have to do the work to go and look for them. So that would be lesson number 3.
And that's it. I mean, we struggled with packaging from day one. We struggled with packaging, and through the food venture program, we now have a contact for packaging who has like wealth of information, even like taking it into like large scale everything. And she lives right here in Waterford, which is like 10 minutes down the road.
Next village over.
We just found that out like 2 months ago. So
yeah.
So
a question for you about the programs, and trying to find out, like you say, you have to take the initiative, you have to look around, you have to explore what is possible, or the opportunities that are in your area. Where did you start, I guess, in that? I know from your hospitality background, there's so many partnerships and different things that happen with the government for tourism and promoting the influx of that economic development engine that tourism is. Did you find it really easy then to transition and find people kind of that were adjacent to that, I guess, what you were normally used to talking to people about?
Yeah, I think
agree with that, because yes, you're right. Being in the hospitality, we were always looking for partnerships and always looking to work with Norfolk County. Exactly. And with those people that could bring people to the area, because that's essentially what we needed. Right. So it's taking that, and I didn't even realize that was a skill, right? And until you just brought that up. But yeah, we did apply that into our business, because that's what we did.
Yeah,
right?
because we were plugged in with a lot of people, right? But I mean, that's the thing. If you decide that you want to get into business and you're a first entrepreneur, like go out and look for all these business places, right? We've got one here in Simcoe, and I mean, they're amazing, because they'll just kind of start to push you in the direction that you need to go. But you need to want to do that, and you need to be, I think, mature enough to be able to go, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do, and take a step back and go, just because I know beer doesn't mean I know dog treats, right? So it's being mature enough, I think, also to look for these people and to listen to them.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, there's information out there, but you need to take that information and then do something with it. Don't just shelve it. You need to go and look for something, right? So yeah, I never even thought of
I
that. But
know,
you're right. You know, I think
yeah.
that we were really plugged in, so it became easy for us to do that.
And it's always what we did. So we just continued
just
to
did
do
it.
that. Yeah. So we looked
Yeah.
for opportunities and pathways. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's really exciting. So what's the future then hold for Brewed Biscuits? Is this something that you have growth plans in front of you that you want to get across the country? Are you wanting to stay a little bit more local? Are you wanting to go into the States? Are you wanting to transition into human baked goods as well? What are your plans in the future here?
Well, currently right now we're scaling. Well, we're
Yeah.
not scaling, we're growing. So we're at
Yeah.
a growth stage. Our packaging is going to go to a pre-printed version now. So we're also moving into the 2,000 square foot facility. So we're right now we're just kind of centralizing our operations because they're kind of
out of room.
Yeah.
She packages at her house and we bake.
We have a
here at the
warehouse.
restaurant. We've got a warehouse. Stuff all over the place.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
want it under one roof.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. So we're pretty excited about our one roof for everything.
Yeah. Definitely grow.
Yeah.
We want to get into definitely more stores, more locations in Ontario, as well as across Canada as well. And we are recently on Amazon, which is a whole beast all in its own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think anybody's making money right now except for Amazon, but hopefully that will change.
That's okay.
But again, we didn't do that on our own. We did that with the help of Innovation Guelph, which we never would have been able to navigate that without their assistance. So yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate, and you're definitely consolidating everything is going to create tremendous efficiencies and allow you to really achieve some of these growth goals that you have. So congratulations on the journey thus far. And I wish you all the luck as you continue to explore the new opportunities that are going to be right around the corner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
Yes.
So that's a wrap, everybody, for this episode of Amplify Your Business. If you are interested in checking out other episodes, head over to amplifyyourbusiness.ca and you'll find our archive there, as well as a little application form. So if you happen to be an entrepreneur with a great story or a small business owner who wants to share a little bit about your experience, then please fill that out and you might be a future guest on Amplify Your Business. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and keep on growing your businesses.